Hey everyone, this is Coach Steve and I want to talk with you about swing plane. Now there are a couple of things that we need to delineate. There's the plane that the club is on. If you look from this angle, my club can be on a shallow plane or a steep plane or somewhere in between. And then there's the arm plane. Where are my arms? Are they on a steep angle or more of a middle or flat angle? Well, the reason why certain players will tend to play with more of a flatter swing plane or a steeper swing plane has more to do with the length of their arms in relationship to their body height. Now, if I have fairly short arms and I bend forward and I want to get my fingertips down to right about where my knees are to get in an appropriate position, if my arms are shorter, then I'll be bending down further. Now, my arms happen to be long, so I don't have to bend down very far. But that automatically puts my shoulder plane in somewhat of a flatter angle. And because it's fairly flat, I'm going to need to offset that flatness with a bit steeper of an arm plane. Okay? If I have short arms, let's pretend my arms are this short, I have to bend over about this much. Now I have a fairly steep shoulder plane. And now I don't want to add another steep factor in there, otherwise I'll be just hitting into the ground. So my arms will tend to be on a flatter plane if they're shorter than my height. And if I'm right in the middle, or my arm length, we call that wingspan, is roughly the same as my height, that'll put me in a sort of a middle position, and my arms will be in about a middle plane. So we call this the shoulder plane, the torso plane, and the hip plane. Now there are players on tour who swing on the hip plane. Matt Kuchar, for example, he has very short arms. And we have players who swing more on the shoulder plane. That would be Jim Furyk, very long arms. And then there's the people right in the middle, like Justin Rose and Tiger Woods, that are on the torso plane, because their arm length is the same as their height. Now that's the arm plane. What about the club? Now the club plane is more determined by how I'm gripping it. If I grip with a side cover grip, that means my right hand is more on top of the club. Then in the backswing, my club will tend to have a more steeper look. It'll be a little bit more out in front of the line. And it'll go up and be kind of on a slightly steeper position here. It's not going to be this laid off look. Conversely, if I grip with a side under position, then my club is going to have a bit more of a flatter look, and it's going to tend to have this laid off position here. And then I will put my elbow in front of my belly button as I come through and release down the target line. And the side on people will do something in between. This will be more of that classic 9 o'clock position where the club is on the target line and goes up and looks somewhat to the rear direction and comes through and releases somewhat to the left of the body as it comes through. So that's one of the determining factors for the club plane. Now I'd like to point out there are people on tour who flush the ball, hit it wonderfully, taking it back like this. You can think of Matthew Wolff, Ricky Fowler, some of those players who get the club out in front of them, and they'll do all of the supination, or laying the club down in the backswing or in the downswing, before they deliver their club into impact. And there are players who do the exact opposite and have more of a flatter look, and the club is pointing more out to the left. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and if you like what I'm doing, then go ahead and like or subscribe. That really helps our channel. Thanks.